Hey, what's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Ooh. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's a wonderful Wednesday. There's so much to talk about this week, but, I got more of the time than I did last week. I appreciate y'all for working with me on that short show last week. I felt like back in the day, what was it, Disney Channel? It was like, it's Mike's super short show. I didn't really get to say a lot, but there's some things I did want to go over. However, last week is last week. This is a whole new week. So, I'm excited about that. Yes, again, I'm at work. Got to do another remote show. Can't stop when the money calls, you know what I mean? First things first, let me actually talk about my week, man. It's been such a good and productive week that I'm pretty excited to speak on it and speak about it and about how it is. For example, first things first, last week, I don't know if I told y'all or not, but I had a meeting last week, and that's why I couldn't do a full show. Come to find out, hey, I got a raise, right? More money, more hours. So I'm pretty happy about that because let me tell you something. With school coming back up and the way that life is, I was really thinking about finding another full-time job on top of the one I already have, right? And I was like, man, I'm going to have to thug it out for 6 months, but it'll put us so far ahead, I don't got to worry about it. And I'm like, I really don't want to do that, though. Maybe I'll just get a part-time job and that'll help out, But I kept going back and forth on what to do because I needed more money, more pay. And it was only a couple dollar raise. Well, it was a $2 raise. So I'm happy about that, a couple bucks. But the thing about it is that I love the most is the fact that even though with just it being $2, with the overtime I do, the amount of hours I work, it looks like, it looks better than what it is. So I appreciate that because now, even if I want to, I can get a little part-time job and just work 15 hours a week and call it a day. Because I'm not trying to be away from the kids more than I have to already. They already hate it now. They complain to me every day that I got to go to work. They complain and be pissed off that I'm not around as much as it is. Plus, school is starting, so I don't get to be up with them late during the school nights anymore because they got to go to sleep. So I got to find a workaround. You know what I mean? Find a workaround for that this time around. But all in all, it's just the fact that more money, more hours. I can't really complain because it's what I need, what I asked for. So I'm happy about that. I am also happy because I paid off yet another debt. Now, it took me maybe, what was it? I started in February and I ended last week. So it took me about 4 months. But it was a $2,000 debt and it's paid off, signed, sealed, and delivered. Kiss my ass and go on about your day. I know we've all been there, when I was in my early 20s, man, I made a lot of dumb decisions and dumb mistakes, particularly some with loan companies, some with, old car dealerships, or just putting shit in my name for people that are just irresponsible. They don't know what the fuck responsibility is if it hit them in the face. All in all, though, hey, I lived and I learned. So now I've been trying to be responsible and take care of this debt, little by little. So every time I pay something off, I feel like I need to celebrate. So probably this weekend, or probably I'll just buy myself something or do something for myself that I may want. You know what I mean? Make it easy, call it a day. But I paid off another debt collection, and I'm happy about that because, man, let me tell you something. It's been a long time coming. Needed to get that off my chest. I'm so happy about that. Um, all in all, though, those two right there just kind of brightened up my week as it was. It just made it great to know that I got a raise, plus to know that I got a debt paid off. So it's been a great week overall. I've had great and productive energy. Can't really complain or talk mess. What else happened in this last week? Oh, they came out with I don't know if y'all have the iOS update, but I kid you not, man. With this update, if anybody even tries to go in my messages, look at that. Face ID required to open messages. They got a new update out, and I'll be honest with y'all, it's looking real Androidish. It's looking real Androidish. Even if you just kind of scroll through, you see that it just got different things. It's looking real Androidish there for the new update. But I mean, hey, to each his own. If you doing iMessages, everything's lit up in color now for the emojis and stickers and text stuff. I mean, I've been saying this for a while, that sooner or later Apple would have to convert to something close enough to Android. Even now, if I text to Android, I can see that they read my message, so I guess it's being stepped up. But that new iOS 18 update is going to get a lot of y'all in trouble. Let me tell y'all right now, it's going to get a lot of y'all in trouble. When I first got the update and I seen I can lock my apps, my first thing was to lock my pictures. But that's because, I got little ones and they tend to not know how to stay in one part of the phone when you let them do something, whether they playing YouTube or a game, whatever. They like to venture off into other stuff. That way they couldn't just venture off and get into my pictures and see things they shouldn't be seeing. But I showed people and they was just like, show me how to do that. My man coming home soon, or my girl is going to be here. Like, show me how to do that. And I felt like I thought it was cool that we had a way to keep our kids out of grown folks' business. But y'all took that and y'all want this iOS 18 update so y'all can just cheat in peace, right? I'm guessing that's exactly what y'all want to do, is cheat in peace, because ain't no other way, ain't no other reason y'all want to hide it from y'all partners with getting that update. If you don't have the update, I'm not going to tell you how to get it. I'm not going to tell you what to do and how to get it going on. I don't condone in cheating. Okay, I don't condone it. I'm sorry. Just be honest about it. Let it be known that you may be attracted to somebody else. You may like somebody else. Like, I don't see what's so hard about just expressing the fact that you're attracted to someone else. Because if you got to cheat, why not express it to her? What if she like girls? What if you with a woman that like girls? Or what if you with a man that is okay with another man joining the bedroom? Your partner is... They may hold some secrets until they know what you approve of and what you like, what you want to do. So what if y'all been doing this whole time running around trying to cheat on each other when your partner may be okay with whatever the fuck y'all plan on doing anyway? Whatever the case may be, I feel like a lot of y'all need to be safe. It's wild to me that I find it insane or crazy or wild that all of these STDs are popping up and people have these diseases and they just not saying nothing about it. But at the same time, I'm not just out here fucking on any and everything. I mean, when at that point in time, when I was out there in the streets, like, I still wanted to make sure you had paperwork, even though we're using protection. I don't give a fuck if some things that can eat through condoms. I'm just being honest, I couldn't just sit there and say, okay, cool, we're going to fuck around and call it a day. No, I had to make sure that you were clean, because I know I'm clean. I know I ain't bringing nothing to the table but me. Like, I'm not trying to sit up here and worry about the fact if you got something going on or not. I'm sorry. That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is the fact that we can have fun and we can both be safe at the same time. But all of a sudden, it's like everybody else, y'all just, as long as y'all can get some sex or y'all can fuck somebody or get a nut off, you don't need no protection. You don't need no paperwork. You don't need nothing. You just going to have fun because it feel good at the moment. And then you wondering why you burning or itching the next day or two later, a week later, because you didn't let somebody give you something now. All of that trying to have fun and party and being city boys and city girls, having hot girl summer and city boys, whatever it may be, man, and look where it ends you up in the clinic with a fucking disease. Sometimes you can't get rid of it, but to each his own. Y'all do what y'all want to do. I've spent the better part of 32 years making sure that I don't have anything and nothing that listen, y'all are okay with it. Sitting here having stuff. Me, I'm not. I can't. I have to get checked. I have to make sure I'm good. I got to make sure I'm okay. Just because you are sleeping with one person don't mean that they sleeping with you. So still go get checked. If you ever have a partner they get upset at you for going to go get checked consistently still, even though y'all been dealing with each other, I'm gonna take that as a guilty conscience. Because if I tell you I'm going to go get a checkup, something I've been doing my whole life, and you get upset at me, I'm gonna feel like it's because you're doing something, and that's why you don't want me to go get checked. Because I feel like you got something going on. That don't feel like it could be anything else. Because me as a partner, if you tell me you want to go get checked together, let's go get checked. Because I know I ain't got nothing, I ain't been doing nothing, so my heart is pure and innocent. I don't have, malice in it to be like, no, because I'm fucking with this girl, so I don't want you to find out she gave me this, she gave me that. I'm not doing none of that. I'm being very respectful. Y'all, on the other hand, are pretty wild out here. Take care of yourself. Stop spreading shit. Like, go to the doctor, get a checkup, go get your shot or whatever you need to be done. And if you can't cure it, go mess with somebody that has the same thing you have already, or mess with somebody. Be honest with them. Y'all be out here manipulating these people into sex, and they end up with these. Now, granted, it's still their fault for not checking their sources, but you have malicious intent by knowing you can give something to somebody and not telling them. I really think that, I don't care if you're a man, woman, whatever, I really think y'all should go to jail for that shit. I feel like if you is out here and just passing diseases around knowingly, and I know right now if it's a life-threatening disease, you can go to jail, but I just like, if you passing anything around knowingly without telling nobody, you should be locked up for that shit. You should go to jail for messing with somebody's health. To each his own, whatever the case may be. But hey, y'all do what y'all want to do. Y'all do what y'all want to do. But when it came to that iOS 18 update, I didn't really think about cheating. I thought about, all the cool stuff you can do now. And it's crazy to see. Somebody told me you don't have that mindset, so you don't think like that, which is great. But it's just like, wow, I'm crazy that people do. Because I kid you not, the minute I updated my phone and I seen all the cool stuff it could do, Diamond, to tell you right now, I went right to her phone and I updated her shit and I showed her everything it could do too. Because I'm not finna sit here. If I got something to hide, I'm being sneaky. I'm not finna show you too. I'm not finna, oh look, let me give you my game plan. No team in history has ever went to the other team and said, let me give you my game plan for this game and what we're gonna do so you can stop it. Nobody. They let you be surprised by what the fuck they did out there on the quarter field. So yes, I showed my wife. Yes, I showed her the update and what I thought was cool about it and all the new stuff. Yes. And oh well, if she chooses to do anything, like I told y'all before, ever since the first time, I don't go through phones no more. So she didn't need an update for me not to go through her phone. If she was doing something, she could be doing something right now. And honestly, I just wouldn't know. I'm not going through that again. Listen, I've been through it enough. I've been through it once, and never again will I go through a woman's phone. Whether it's Diamonds, it's another woman I meet, if we don't work out, whatever the case may be, I will never go through a woman's phone again. I learned my lesson the first time. I'm good. And the cool thing about it is, like, you wish you was doing something so it wouldn't hurt so bad, but it hurts even more when you know you're innocent and you ain't doing shit. It's like, oh man, it's insane. So I don't go through phones. But that also shows I don't have the intent to cheat, because she know every move I can make now. So what point would that be? None. Pointless. It is what it is. Speaking of that, really quick, everybody has their comments and opinions about my marriage specifically. Everybody has their comments and opinions. And I don't care that you have an opinion. I'm not worried about it at all. Everybody's right to their own opinion. But don't question me and my methods, because you may not like how I do something or how I present something, but I guarantee you, I'm getting results. It may be outlandish or wild the way I go about something to do it, but I'm getting results. And I say this because it's not even the people that are married that I need to say that to, because they understand. They get it. I'm talking about the ones of y'all can't talk. I'm talking about the people that ain't never been married, or they have been married and they divorced and it's their fault, right? So you really can't tell me nothing because you're the reason your marriage ended. Or the people that never even believe in marriage in the first place. It's always the people that have nothing to do with marriage that always have the opinions that think, oh, this is going to work. Well, why didn't it work for you? If that is such great advice, why didn't it work for you? I think what I want to say to people is, when you put an effort to want something to change and be better, that's what you get. You get better, you get change. Now, I always say this before, if I wanted to go out and do anything, I'm not going to go tell social media, tell this and that. The fact that somebody knew that something was happening, we got a problem, we're working on resolving it. We're getting issues taken care of. And just being honest, we've had a few of the issues some most minor, one major, right? But they've been addressed in a way where it's like the tone is different, the approach is different. And I'm not saying that everything is fixed, because I'm the one that believes that it's going to take 2 years of consistency to show me that you've changed, right? And I'm not talking about the fact that you may relapse, you may have a setback, because relapses happen. That's okay. That's not a problem, as long as you don't stay there, right? Mistakes happen all the time. But when you show progress and you show things are growing, that's how you make changes. That's how you get things to happen. So regardless of what you may say or may feel, I'm doing what I think is best, and it's been working for me, showing progress time in and time out, time again. I'm happy about that. I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad to sit up here and tell y'all that, hey, maybe this is working this way now instead of that way. I'm happy because it's working at the end of the day. But what a lot of people wanted, and this is what I had to realize, a lot of people they like the drama, they like to be fans. They want to see it fail. Some people want opportunities, missed opportunities with me or her, whatever the case may be. Um, some people just don't have it themselves, so they just don't want it for nobody else. Some people just kind of like being in the middle of it, whatever the case may be. So people will always try to throw you off and make you look at your situation and say, just leave, just leave, just leave. But y'all are not used to really holding people accountable and actually addressing issues instead of just running away from them. I've always looked at marriage seriously from as a kid to an adult. I thought that if you were to get married, the divorce word shouldn't even come up, right? And granted, I'll be honest, being accountable, I've said it a few times myself that maybe that's what I needed, or maybe that's what needs to happen. So I'm not saying I haven't, but I haven't went there yet, right? I believe in trying every single outlet to make it work before I just say, I'm done, I'm good. And what some of y'all do is y'all like the attention that everybody else gives you. So the minute you're ready to up and run from one person, you're ready to go to the next. I'll get more back into that part of me saying that later, because it's not going to make sense until I get into the topics today. Now, there were a couple of topics that I wanted to talk about last week that I didn't get to dive into too much, but I still have that information available because I do want to go over that, because that plays a part in what I'm talking about today. The biggest thing is self-isolation. I want to talk about self-isolation because we all think it's, I think there's ups and downs to self-isolation, but I think everyone does it in their own way. Or if you don't know how to identify it, at least I can kind of help you do that now. But I want to talk about it because a lot of people don't know that to me, I won't lie, I'll be 100% honest. Self-isolation is a coping mechanism for me. So when things are going too crazy, too wild, and the world is just taking me by storm and I can't do enough to keep it together, I'm going to self-isolate. And I do that because I need to get myself back together. I need to get on my, I need to get my thoughts back right. I need to get, myself back on track. My mental needs to be great. And I can't do that with the world going crazy around me. So I need to self-isolate. So you see me start going, even at work, I don't talk too much. I'll be kind of quiet at work. And then when I get home, I'll just go home, sleep, wake up, go to work again. Off days, try to play with the kids, try to do as little as possible. But I'll self-isolate because I'm trying to figure out in my head what's going on, what the problem is, where the issue actually came from. I want to know what's really going on with me, okay? And how I can really fix it and address it in a healthy way instead of a toxic way. I can give you just about any toxic way possible for me to actually deal with something. So, when it comes to me trying to heal or deal with anything, I can give you so many different toxic ways to do so. But for the past 2 to 3 years, maybe even 4 years, I've been trying to go at my isolation or going at my problems or issues. I try to come at them at a healthy way now. So I stopped trying to look at the fact of how do I just get over it quick and how do I really put the work in. Now I'm like, let's really put the work in. So it's no more going out to party and doing this and going out and drinking and yada, 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 just to have fun, just to forget everything. Because when you just forget for now, it comes back up later for you to remember. So you got to deal with it sooner or later, which gave me that whole sense of why put off tomorrow what you can do today. So I no longer try to do that. I don't try to do it at all. But what I will say is I learned that the self-isolation can be a good and bad thing, because then people start to worry, and get concerned. They don't know what's going on. They haven't heard from you. It could be a mix of multiple things, multiple things. So I'm going to bring up this article that I have here about self-isolation and loneliness. Um, there's a kind of a few small things I want to go over first before I read the article, some key points, if you would say. Um, Loneliness and social isolation were concerns before the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, but have been exacerbated in the subsequent years. So basically, it's gotten even bigger in the last few years. But that's because of COVID. I mean, when people had to be forced into isolation, man. In 2022, males aged 15 to 24 tended to experience more social isolation and loneliness than females. I can get that because a lot of men, we don't really have a lot of men groups or men things, but women, they got their brunches or their little FaceTime dates and this and that and everything going on, whatever it could be. They find a way to communicate with each other, group chats, whatever. Social isolation and loneliness are among the many factors that can be detrimental to a person's well-being. Now, again, I believe that it can harm you mentally and physically, but there's these articles that I read that kind of tell you the same thing, right? This one here is from, let's see, Australian government. It's Australian Institute of Health and Welfare. And this was from the current year. And they talk about how social isolation and loneliness can harm both mental and physical health and may affect life satisfaction. They are concerning issues in Australia due to the impact they have on people's lives and well-being. Loneliness has been linked to premature death, poor physical and mental health, and greater psychological distress, and general dissatisfaction with life. Loneliness among Australians was already a concerning issue before the COVID-19 pandemic to the extent in 2022. All right, let me go to some because I just want to talk about it in general. I didn't want to talk about it with that one being specific. I wanted to go on a general standpoint with it. Okay. All right, so this one is from the National Institute of Aging. And this one just talks about loneliness and social isolation. It just gives you tips for staying connected. We all tend to self-isolate. And again, we don't know what we're doing to our loved ones, our friends and families, because they're worried about us, they're concerned. What we're doing to ourselves, our mental health, our physical health, is because we're getting out of shape. We're not thinking right. We're not thinking clearly. We make bad decisions, bad choices. And it's a hell of a thing. So everyone needs social connections to survive and thrive, but as people age, they often find themselves spending more time alone. Being alone may leave older adults more vulnerable to loneliness and social isolation, which can affect their health and well-being. Studies show that loneliness and social isolation are associated with higher risk for health problems such as heart disease, depression, and cognitive decline. I never thought that was really true until, some days you just be talking to your doctors because you want to know, like, is this really something that can hurt me? Like, are you serious right now? And you want to make sure, like, if it's really something that's going to cause harm, that you want to take care of it and knock it out the bud, or nip it in the bud right then and there. But to know that it causes heart disease, depression, and cognitive decline. Now, imagine if you're already depressed along with that. Like, come on now. It's not a good mix. If you are in poor health, you may be more likely to be socially isolated or lonely. If you are socially isolated or feeling lonely, it can put your physical and mental health at risk. Adults who are lonely or socially isolated tend to be less healthy, have longer hospital stays, are readmitted to the hospital more often, and are more likely to die earlier than those with meaningful and supportive social connections. So it goes to show you how you need people in your corner, right? Because without them, you kind of live less. You don't live a longer life with those people around you loving you and supporting you. So just be mindful of those souls that are around there trying to help you and pull you up, because it's a reason they're there. So don't take advantage. You know what I mean? Don't take it for granted. Now, what is the difference between loneliness and social isolation? The number of older adults aged 65 and older is growing, and many are socially isolated and regularly feel lonely. Loneliness and social isolation are different, but related. Loneliness is the distressing feeling of being alone or separated. Social isolation is the lack of social contacts and having few people to interact with regularly. You can live alone and not feel lonely or socially isolated, and you can feel lonely while being with other people. See, it goes back to like some relationships when people say like, I felt lonely in my relationship. It's possible. People don't realize that, but you can really feel lonely when people make you, make a point to make you feel that way. Older adults are at higher risk for social isolation and loneliness due to changes in health and social connections that can come with growing older. Hearing, vision, and memory loss, disability, trouble getting around, and or the loss of family and friends. How can feeling lonely or being isolated affect older adults' health? People who are socially isolated or lonely are more likely to be admitted to the emergency room or to a nursing home. Social isolation and loneliness also are associated with higher risk for high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, weakened immune function, anxiety, depression, cognitive decline, dementia, including Alzheimer's disease, and even death. People who are lonely or socially isolated may get too little exercise, drink too much alcohol, smoke, and sleep poorly. Man, which can further increase the risk of serious health conditions. People who are lonely experience emotional pain. Losing a sense of connection and community can change the way a person sees the world. Someone experiencing chronic loneliness may feel threatened and mistrustful of others. You know, what's so funny about that is people have trust issues, and some of them stem from that. And that's where it comes from because of it being like that in the past. And it's so hard for them to let it go because it's somebody they thought they can trust is the one that Crossman did it to them. So it's crazy. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so let me go here. How can you stay connected with friends and family? This is a pretty simple one here. There are things you can do to help protect yourself or a loved one from the negative effects of loneliness and social isolation. First, it's important to take care of yourself to help manage stress and stay as mentally and physically healthy as possible. Try exercising, eating healthy, getting enough sleep, 7 to 9 hours, and pursuing activities you enjoy. Second, it's important to stay active and connected with others. People who engage in meaningful, productive activities, they enjoy the others feel a sense of purpose and tend to live longer. For example, helping others through volunteering helps you feel less lonely and allows you to have a sense of mission and purpose in life, which is linked to better health. Studies show activities like these may help boost your mood and improve your well-being and cognitive function, which is great. We all need that. Now, here are some more few ideas just to get you, to help stay connected. Find an activity that you enjoy, restart an old hobby, or take a class to learn something new. You might have fun and meet people with similar interests. Of course, if you want to take a class you like, you're going to meet people with similar interests. Schedule time each day to stay in touch with family, friends, and neighbors in person by email, social media, voice call, or text. Talk with people you trust and share your feelings. Suggest an activity to help nurture and strengthen existing relationships. Sending letters or cards is another good way to keep your friendships. Use communication technology such as video chat or smart speakers to help keep you engaged and connected. And if you're not tech savvy, sign up for a class at your local public library or community center to help you learn how to use the email or social media. Now, I say that because a lot of people are really sitting out here and they think that there's nobody that I can have around, nobody that's going to be there for me, nobody I can kind of put my faith in and put my trust in. I think that there is somebody. And I think if we stop looking in the wrong places for the right people, we will find them. For example, if you want a group of friends that can read or that read books all the time, why are you at a video game arcade and looking for friends? Obviously, they're into playing video game arcades. You need to be at Barnes and Nobles or a bookstore somewhere to find those kind of friends. Now, if you want friends to play video games, cool. Go back to the video game store. You'll find the friends you're looking for. But I think if we all stop looking for the right people in the wrong places, we will find what we need in order to have that. So we can all find someone or something to keep us relevant. So if I like books, I'm gonna go to a bookstore. If I like video games, I'll go to a video game store. If I like, I don't know what else is there, music, I'll go to a record store, right? I'm not going to a record store looking for somebody that plays Twister. It's not going to happen. I'm in the wrong place. So I need to go to a board game store and find somebody to do that, But again, to each his own. You call it what you want. You do what you want to do. I just feel like when it comes to self-isolation, we sometimes are our own victims to the mindset that we have. And if we get out of that mindset, we can no longer play victim and we can finally portray the protagonist that we need to be. But again, it's all in your head sometimes. We can make things change and we choose not to. That's nobody's fault but our own. You know what I mean? Nobody's fault but our own. Self-isolation can be a great thing when you need time to yourself and when you need to recoup and figure out what you need to do in life. It's great. But don't take too much time there because then your health starts getting deteriorating, right? Your relationships and bonds start, going over with people. You just start forgetting about them and you don't have them anymore. Don't lose you over what you're going through. That's the point of going through it. Grow as a person as you grow through. Grow as a person as you go through it. Learn, take the lesson, take the experience, and eat it all up. That's what really should be happening. You know what I mean? I get that everybody can't do that right away, but again, Rome wasn't built in a day, and all it takes time for you to get there, and you can do it. It literally does. Y'all see me come on here week after week, no matter what I'm going through in life, personally, whatever. I come here and I talk to y'all about it because I want you to see, as me being a black man in America, you know what I mean? And I'm somewhat young. I'm 32, a young black man in America. And I go through a lot, so much. And this is what it looks like to work at it and go through it and hit it on the head and keep trying and keep putting the effort in. You don't give up. Yes, I have bad days. Yes, I have horrible days. I even have great days. But through every single day, I always try and put in the effort to be better than I was the day before. I try to learn something new of myself every single day, to just try to improve something small. I don't care if it's the way I breathe and I'm breathing calmer now. If I work on that, whatever the case may be, I try to work on something that will benefit me in the future because I want to be a better person, a better individual. Um, this is going to kind of tie into the double standards thing, so I'll say it now. I wrote this, and before I forget, before I even start, I'm saying this now. Women, we love y'all to death. Okay, I'm married, so I'm not trying to get with nobody, and I'm not trying to talk down about nobody. What I am going to say is a lot of women need to see competition to do right in their relationship. I'm not speaking for mine. I'm just, again, I talk to men all the time. We've got 100 answers on the board. Survey says we've talked about this. We've gone through it, and I keep hearing the same things. So I'm speaking from a general point of view. Let me make that clear before I get to talking. What I realize is like the women in today's society, you all tend to like the idea of competition, which I'm not saying is wrong, right? Competition is always good for sport. But it's a double-edged sword on your part, on women's part. Women will they want a man that every woman wants, right? In a way to say it. And when I say that, I mean you want a man who's going to pay bills, got a six-figure job, whatever, or just take care of home, or just have a job in general, have a car, have a place. Everybody wants a man that's on his shit, okay? But if you see a man that all of the other women are not wanting, they're going away from, some of y'all will be like, well, I don't want him either. I don't want him either. Or you get with a man like that, you're like, well, I don't need to respect you. I don't need to do nothing or show you nothing. Why? But the minute that there's another interest, it could be a random person sparking an interest. Y'all all want to turn into Mary Poppins, for lack of a better word. Or not even Mary Poppins. Y'all all want to turn into, let me see, who's a wife we can talk about? A good wife. Dang. Let's say Unviv. Everybody want to turn into Unviv all of a sudden. Everybody want to be holier than thou, do what they husband say, listen, let them lead, let them do whatever the case may be, or the man. It's like the minute another woman will show interest in that man, you want to compete to say, oh no, he's mine. Let me show you that I can do what she's doing too. I'm bringing this up because me and Diamond were talking about the fact of why do men keep women in a girlfriend stage for so long before they marry them or propose. And the best analogy I can give her was, I said, well, let's think about this. When you get a job and you're up for a promotion, when you want that promotion, you work as hard as you can to get that promotion. And then once you get the promotion, you work even harder to keep it. I said it like this. I said, 2 out of 10 women will see that there's a promotion. They'll work hard to get the promotion. And when they get the promotion, they'll work even harder to keep it. 8 out of 10 women will work hard to get the promotion. But when they get the promotion, they're like, oh, I got it now. Let me just do enough to get by. Right? So a man will keep her in that girlfriend stage because she's given her all and everything day in and day out. Now, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it should happen, but I'm telling you what it looks like. That a woman will go bend over backwards and go through hell without a ring and do whatever the man asks or needs. But the minute she gets that ring from him, she more so like, oh, you know what? I got it. I got the ring now. I ain't got to work as hard. I try to tell her it's like some of these people in sports when it comes to football and basketball and stuff. A lot of people can't even say they've been to a championship game or a Super Bowl or whatever the case may be. They ain't been to a championship game. So when they go in and they get a ring, at least one, already they can be put above any player they want that doesn't have one. It could be a player with the most receiving yards and catches, but it's this wide receiver that got a ring, and now he's gonna say I'm better than you because I got that ring. See what I'm saying? No matter what your stats are showing that you're doing over here, to be like, I'm doing all of this better than you. Oh, I got a ring, so it don't matter. You ain't got a ring, so I'm doing better than you. It's the same way. A lot of women will say, well, I'm going to work hard all the time and work even harder than I did to get the ring because I want to keep it. Versus the women that are just like, well, I worked hard to get it, and now I can just relax and just do what I need to do to maintain it. So some of these men are looking at it like, well, if you can work harder for me as a girlfriend, why should I make you a wife when you're not going to work as hard as you did when you were a girlfriend? So they not, some of these men are not being oblivious to you. They just see that you may not give the same effort in once you get the ring. Now, you may not be that person to act like that, and they may have seen somebody else in the past do it, right? Everybody deals with their trauma in their own way. But I do see a lot of men there just saying, like, even when it comes to relationships, they say, well, we've been together for 5 years and she's just comfortable. She do this, she do that, and she don't, she don't wear lingerie no more when I ask her to. She don't keep her hair done no more when I ask her to. She don't get dressed for me no more. She don't do this for me no more. She don't do that. She just walk around in granny panties and granny pajamas all the time. To the men, it's like you gave them an appeal and then you wouldn't keep up with it. You wouldn't keep up with it. So weird. But they're just they don't know what to say or do about stuff like that. Some men will just go out and cheat, but a lot of the men that I have these conversations with, they are just stuck between a rock and a hard place because they don't want to hurt you by cheating, but they also understand that you hurting them by not hearing them out when they say they want this and want that. That's why I always say, I get it. Like, I'm not saying it's right, but I understand now when these men continuously try to tell you what they want and the women ignore it, but then when they go cheat and it's the woman that's doing exactly what they asked him to, it's not right. It's not right at all because you shouldn't be cheating. But it's like at the same time, where's the accountability on both ends? Yeah, they cheated. That's fucked up. But at the same time, you ignore their feelings about what they wanted from you. You know what I mean? So both of y'all got a part to play in this. It takes two to tango. You know what I mean? Hey, to each his own. My biggest thing is, though, with these men telling me and coming to me saying that the women will only show they care when there's another woman around or another competition. For example, a man can sit up here and say, oh, this woman tried to talk to me today. And now all of a sudden for the next week, you miss perfect for him. All because of what? Some girl tried to talk to him because you thought they were going to take him away? That's not fair to the man that we have to sit here and be wanted by everybody else for you to just show us that you care and you respect us. That is disrespectful and fucked up. And for that, I tell you, and I'm only saying this, it's not right, but I'm only saying this now. If you are doing that to a man and making them feel that way, and that man cheat on you, serves you right. Serves you right. Oh, well. You leave him. Because if you're not going to leave him and you keep letting him cheat, serves you well. Because here's the biggest thing I say to people. Cheating is not fair, not right. You shouldn't do it at all. Now, if you know that you are with a partner and you cannot fulfill the needs that they are asking you to do, or you just don't want to do it, when you see that they went somewhere else to get that done, you have to leave them. And if you don't leave them, you just tell them you allow them to go out and find it somewhere else. But you also need to look at yourself and say, why did I allow my partner to go somewhere else to find something I should have been giving them? Right? Right. But, some people ain't built like that. Some people ain't built like that. It's a whole double standard thing with me because if it was ever the other way around, men would get torched for it. They would get torched for that kind of shit. And I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I don't respect it. I think it just needs to change. Simple as that. I see too many men out here trying to go through a breakthrough, but instead of having a breakdown. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Another thing about that is, though, like, I'm not too upset because you all have women speaking out about this too now. So the fact that I'm starting to see more women speak out about the fact of what these women are doing to these men and how they're acting, I'm just like, kudos. Somebody got to say it. You got to hear it from somebody. It always comes off as an attack when a man says it, but when a woman says it, she can come to you with a clearer picture because y'all are one and the same. But the fact that women are speaking up about it, I'm kind of happy about that. I gotta worry about that. Another thing I want to talk about that when it comes to these double standards, like, and this is for men and women. I don't care what kind of sex you like to be with. This is just in general. Y'all keep saying that one or the other is a better when it comes to communication. They're better at logically. They smarter. They know better. They know more. But if that's the case, then why are y'all steady getting finessed out here by these people? The same people that brag up and down about how they know this and they know that, they own their shit, they know better, they got gut instincts, whatever it may be, are the main ones getting finessed by the people they talking about. So if you know better, why are you steady getting finessed by the people you want to avoid? It's because you're allowing it to happen. So don't try to say that shit like, oh, it's all good to go, I don't gotta do. No. Take some accountability and understand that you allowed somebody to be in a position with you and treat you a certain way, and you allowed it to continue. You have to take accountability for that. Because ain't no way in hell. Y'all know me. I've cut off. I don't talk to my mama. I don't talk to my brothers. I talk to one person in my immediate family, which is my cousin Yoni. Everybody else I don't talk to. Fuck them. They can go to hell. Right? No disrespect to them, but that's just how it is with me. I will cut off anybody I got to for my peace. I'm not playing that shit no more. It is what it is. Y'all just need to be accountable and understand that when you got people that are just doing you wrong and being shitty towards you, either sit there and eat it and deal with it, or let them go. Don't just keep talking about that shit. Nothing is getting resolved when you're just sitting there talking about it. Nothing at all. Actually, don't want to ruffle a few feathers today. All right, so I'm probably going to ruffle a few feathers with this next statement, but I don't mean to ruffle feathers, but I know what it's going to do. Women will sit up here and compete. You can get 1 million women to compete for one man because they want to say that's the man. I got him. Out of all y'all, I got him. Just say I got him. He could be an abuser. He could cheat. He could do whatever the case may be. Be all kind of bad of a man, toxic, whatever the case may be. But they all gonna fight for him so that one of them can say, I got him. I got him. He's mine. Even though he's beating on me and cheating on me, he's mine. And that's weird to me because I'm telling you right now, most men, they won't settle for that shit. They won't deal with that. If they got a woman that's just completely unaccountable, not responsible, or irresponsible, I should say, annoying, right? Talking back, smart mouth, can't act professional, don't know what being professional is, or actually trying to communicate effectively. A man is gonna sit there and look at that woman and say, "Oh, you just something I can fuck on." I'm just being honest. Some of y'all are just fuckable. And we're not saying that because we want y'all to think that we don't love y'all and we don't like y'all. We're saying that because your actions and your demeanor doesn't allow you to have a mature, healthy adult relationship. You can't be doing that and still acting out in ways that a teenager or a high schooler would do. My thing is, like, anybody that's 27 plus, 28 plus, I'll say, if you still worried about how many hoes you can get or how many people you can get or how many different bodies you can catch, grow up. Grow up. I mean, your early 20s, you exploring the world. I get it. But late 20s, early 30s, anything above that, you got to do better. You got to do better. There's no way that y'all should be still running around here trying to be Mr. Him or Mr. Her. Like, let that go and let the next generation do what they got to do with that shit. We are grown adults, responsible adults. We want shit to change and shit to happen. We don't want all the extras. So I just don't believe that. I don't know. Why? Why? That's all I can say is why. Anyway, with that being said, I do want to give a little brief discussion over double standards because men and women have double standards all the time, and it's not the same category, right? It doesn't fall in the same thing. And people don't want to acknowledge those double standards as it is. A lot of them have a few variables that go into play. So teach his own with those. But for the most part, we'll talk about this here. The most part, double standards are just what they seem to be, a double standard. A double standard in a relationship occurs when an individual has certain expectations of their partner, but does not believe the same expectations should be applied to them. They are unfair expectations that can harm a relationship. Put it like this. Let's say you're in a relationship, me as a man, Diamond comes to me and says, oh, you cannot be best friends with your best friend no more because she's a girl. And I say, okay, cool. But you need to go ahead and not be best friends with your best friends either because that's a dude. And she'll get to tripping with me about it. How is it okay for you to do it, but it's not okay for me? See what I'm saying? Double standard. Like, let's be fair. Double standards can appear in different aspects of the relationship, such as finances, physical appearance, and sexual behaviors. Read on to understand example signs and harms of double standards and how to avoid them with your partner. So I'm going to skip over the types of double standards because I kind of just gave a couple examples. Hopefully that deals with it. Now, here's another part of it that I want to talk about is signs of double standards in a relationship. No, that's not the part. Harms of double standards in a relationship. That's the one. Double standards in relationships can be a form of emotional abuse. Abusive partners may use them as a way to manipulate their partner and gain power and control in the relationship, right? Here are some signs of an abusive relationship. Your partner has forced you to have sex or perform sexual acts when you didn't want to. Your partner acts extremely jealous and constantly accuses you of cheating on them. Let me break these down one by one because this is a little separate. So your partner has forced you to have sex or perform sexual acts when you didn't want to. So let's say your partner is like, oh, let's have I'm a guy and I'm telling my woman, let's have a threesome. She agrees to it, right? Even though she don't want to, she agrees. And then she turns around and say, oh, now let's have one with you and another guy. And I'm like, fuck no. Fuck no. That the double standard then is I allowed it for my personal benefit, but not for hers, which I should have allowed her to have the same kind of pleasure if that was the case. Mind you, that's why I don't press for threesomes now, because I don't play that way. So, hey, if you give me a threesome, it's because you wanted to, not because I asked for one and you forced you to. Your partner acts extremely jealous and constantly accuses you of cheating on them. That being said, is because they're actually doing something wrong themselves, so it's a guilty conscience. Because I've always said, you can accuse me of cheating all you want, but I'm not going to defend something I'm not doing. That's pointless. And I'm not going to get mad about it either. Your partner controls your decisions, such as what you wear, what you eat, what you spend money on, or what medication you take. And it's like you can't do all of that. But let's say I tell her, hey, you can't wear them shorts, they too tight, put on some pants and put on another shirt, not a halter top. But then I go outside in some gray sweatpants with no drawers on and a white beater, and she like changed. And I'm like, no. How can I control what she wear, but she can't say nothing, have no opinion about what I wear? Double standard. Your partner keeps an eye on everything you do and who you spend time with. They monitor your social media use and prevent you from hanging out with your friends and family. Because why are you being so selfish? I don't do that to you, so why are you doing it to me? It's not fair. It's just not fair. Whether someone is intentionally or unintentionally holding them, double standards can ruin relationships. If they are not addressed, double standards can erode trust, destroy intimacy, and create resentment between partners, leading to a breakup or divorce. Sometimes a person may not be aware that they hold those standards until their partner brings it up. Having open and honest conversations with your partner can help them understand your feelings, as well as give you an opportunity to learn about the context and circumstances of their behavior and needs. So you always have to think through what you will say, manage your emotions, set clear boundaries. Don't do it over text because things always get misconstrued over text. Please don't. Or seek couples counseling. It's not too hard. But what I will say is, with everything going on with it being there, none of it will work if you don't want it to. None of it. If you don't want it to work, you don't want to try, you don't want to succeed at it, it's going to be pointless. That shit is going to be going down the drain. It's wasted time and wasted effort. And one thing about time is you can never get that back. So if you want to waste your time, go ahead and waste it. Hey, to each his own, that's on to you. But I'm not doing that shit. I wouldn't do that shit. That's why I was trying to say earlier, when it comes to cheating and all of that good shit, like, if you're just not in the right space with your partner where you want to be, sit down and have these casual conversations instead of just dipping up and leaving and whipping or going to fuck off with whoever you want to hurt your partner. Like, that shit is ridiculous. Find a way to communicate with each other. Sit down like the grown-ass people we are and get through that shit. You shouldn't be having to be treated like a child still. If you got to be treated to like a child, don't get mad that you get talked to like a child, because that's the exact fucking energy you're giving off. Simple as that. On another note, yeah, you can see that one. That kind of pisses me off with that one. On another note, before I forget, now I'm gonna say this because I don't care if it's a kid that I seen that been missing. Anytime I see something on social media about a kid being missing, I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it. Now, I say that because there has been a recent finding that a lot of people are creating these fake kids missing posters and sharing it. And once it gets a lot of attention and attraction, they completely change the post to something else. So that way you didn't even know that the kid, unless you see the edit history, you didn't know what it was about. So yes, it sucks to have to look out for stuff like that. But regardless on if it's real or fake, if I see that a kid is missing, I'm gonna share it because a kid is missing. A fucking kid is missing. Could be. Um, a lot of people stop sharing a lot of them because they don't want to fall for that trap. But I just know if it was my kid, whether it was a joke or not, I want somebody to at least try to look, right, to show me that they cared enough. So I'm still sharing it because I feel like, hey, it may be one of those that actually is real, and I might be able to help somebody find their child. Um, Other than that, I think that was it for the day, actually. I think I got through everything I needed to get through. I really tried to rush through some stuff and skipped over a few things I didn't think felt necessary. But if you ever want to discuss anything I talk about, hit me up. I'm more than happy to talk about it. If you want the sources or the links to my sources, I'll be more than happy to give them to you. I don't mind. I do what I can. But all in all, man, I'm just wanting to tell y'all, like, life is going to life. Life is going to life, right? It's going to be life. And all we have to do really is do our best to move forward, push forward, and grow. We're going to make mistakes today. We're going to make mistakes tomorrow. We made mistakes yesterday. Mistakes are a part of the growth, right? That's how you grow and become a better person. What I will say is don't become stagnant. Don't sit there and just be okay with the bullshit you got to deal with or going through when you can change it or make it better, right? If you have I was telling Diamond this a minute ago about the fact of if I ever stepped out and cheated, but it was, just hypothetical. If you know what the issue is and you can come to me and fix it, you knowingly can fix it, but you choose not to fix the issue because you want to keep ignoring it, and your partner steps out with somebody that fixes that issue, and when you ask, they tell you, you have to look in the mirror and you have to say, why didn't I listen to my partner? Because you can be upset, but the real issue is if they're coming to you telling you that they did something and they want to fix it, they're trying to address the issue that's at hand, okay? If you don't want to let them address the issue at hand and they go out and cheat anyway, you can't be mad at them because you can still fix it by changing the issue that they had a problem with in the first place. Is your trust going to be fucked up? Yes, indeed. Are you going to worry and concern about what that person is doing all the time? Yes, indeed. But all they have to do is give you the proper reassurance to let you know it won't happen again with the right effort and the right actions to prove it, to back it up. It's that easy. It's that easy. But I'm not saying I'm supporting these guys or women that do it, but I don't feel bad for the people that get cheated on over an issue they could have resolved. If you could have fixed something in your relationship or marriage to avoid the cheating and you chose to blatantly ignore it because you felt like you didn't have to, then you're going to feel every bit of pain from you getting cheated on because you could have resolved it. You could have avoided it, but you let it get there. All right. You let it get there. Anyway, I will catch y'all next week. I just appreciate y'all coming out, checking in with me. Again, peace, love, and hair grease. I'll catch y'all on the hottest radio station next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Hot 702.5. I'll catch y'all next week.